Hi, Pastor Duane here. In this season of Advent, let's talk for a minute about two kinds of opposition to Jesus. Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 to 3 say this. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who was born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Herod and all Jerusalem were troubled. The Magi and their entourage came into the city looking for the young king of the Jews, only to upset and polarize the whole population. Certainly there were those who welcomed the thought of Messiah having come, but Matthew only tells us about those who did not welcome the supposed arrival of the King of the Jews. The people opposed to Jesus' coming divided up into two groups. The first group is represented by the chief priests and scribes. In Matthew chapter 2, the next three verses, verses 4 to 6, we read this, "And assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he, being Herod, inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, in Bethlehem of Judea. For so it is written by the prophet, And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel." So in these verses, the chief priests and the scribes answered Herod's question about where this king was to be born. Then they did nothing. They didn't bother going the short distance to Bethlehem to either prove or disprove what the Magi were saying. The Jewish leaders went about their own business. Herod represents the second group of people. Again in Matthew 2, verses 7 and 8 this time, "Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him." Herod was threatened by the thought of another king usurping his authority. He felt so deeply threatened that he lied to the Magi about wanting to worship Jesus. And later, he committed mass murder. Herod's hostility was caused by his pride and fear. The two groups who opposed Jesus could be labeled like this: the indifferent and the hostile. I pray you are neither indifferent nor hostile about the Savior this season. In fact, I pray a sense of longing for the light and life of His presence will cause you to profoundly worship. The King has come. Let's adore Him.